These thoughts have been in my head. Things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here.
I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I'm your host, Ed, and as always, journey with me as we pursue greatness in a world full of chaos. As we keep our faith in a world full of chaos. I really have to remember that. Pursuing greatness means that you should keep your faith. And as long as you're keeping your faith, you can do great things because through God, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So there's my rebuttal to that. I hope y'all doing well. I hope you have a great week. I hope that life is treating you well, that you're going through things, that you're doing stuff that you said you wanted to do, that you are accomplishing things. And even if you are in a spot where you feel like that's not happening, just trust and believe that God's got you covered. Trust and believe that he is with you, that he will walk with you through everything that you're going through. So only quick announcement I have is that I'm reading this amazing book by Janae Howard, also known as Queen J. I hope I didn't get her name wrong, but the book is called The Girl Behind the Glass. I'm going to post the picture somewhere in here, but it's a great book. It's on Amazon. You can check it out now. It's basically a memoir of her life. And it's really good. I'm halfway through, and I think that it's a great read for anybody that's looking for healing, and just being able to overcome and succeed in life, regardless of what was thrown in your way. And I don't want to give too much out because I want you to go get it. But you talk about chaos and keeping your faith in a world full of chaos. She definitely did that, which is why she was able to write the book. So make sure you go support it. Check it out. The Girl Behind the Glass. It's a really good read. So there's that. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about not feeling like doing anything. The title of this is called I Don't Feel Like It. And I think we've all been there before. I think we've all dealt with situations like that before. So let's dive into it. Here's my question for the day. What should you be doing that you don't feel like doing? Like, think about what it is that you're wanting to accomplish. And you say you want to do great things and you say you want to be the best at everything that you're doing, but you're not taking the steps or mastering the discipline in order to do that. Now, you can only ask yourself why you're going through that. But a lot of times we get comfortable. We feel good about what we're doing. And sometimes it's fear. We're afraid of what happens next. So I broke this question down into two different things. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But you know that there's something that you should be doing right now. You know that there's something that God has called you to do. You know that there's a certain thing that you need to stop doing or a certain action that you realize this isn't getting me closer to what God has intended for me. And the thing is, we have the power through God to change our ways and get better. But we don't, because we're so used to what it is and it provides this false sense of comfort. But in the false sense of comfort, I think that there's a fear and there's an underlying fear. And once you decide and figure out what that is, then it is up to you to decide on moving forward to get better. But as we break this down, I talked about fear and comfort. So the first thing we'll talk about is fear. The definition of fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. When you are encountering new things and when you are being pushed into challenging situations that will help you grow, there is a fear of not knowing what that's going to do, how you're going to move forward, what's out there for you. And it changes the way we navigate things. Once fear enters in and we allow that to overtake who we are, it stunts our growth, it halts progress, it makes us second guess everything that we're called to do. And the reality is that once you take the step into that fear and turn it into courage and faith, it changes the whole dynamic. It then allows you to build your confidence, become, I don't want to say comfortable, but become disciplined in moving forward and knowing like these things will happen, but I know that this too shall pass and I'll move on. But sometimes we allow that to really kind of incarcerate us, if that makes sense. So some of us fear change. If it's new, if it's different from what you've done before, you don't want to move forward with it. You're afraid that the changes will take away everything that you work for. But the reality is that the changes are actually building you up to do something greater. The changes that are coming your way are things that are going to give you the strength that you didn't think that you had. It's going to give you the courage that you lack. It's going to give you the will to carry on even when things get difficult, or even when people doubt what it is that you're doing. Let that change you from within and allow God to handle everything else. Some of us feel failure. Failure is not something that we like. Everybody likes to win. Everybody likes to win. I love basketball. I want to win. The sad part about basketball is at the end of that game, someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. And you always want to be on the winning side, but the reality is you're not going to win everything. You look throughout history, you see, Chicago Bulls went 72-10. Now they won a championship, but within that span, they lost 10 games. And it was almost like, oh, wow, like they're losing. What's going on? Reality is that they were winning. Golden State's the perfect example. 73-9, sets the best record, gets all the way to the finals, but they don't win it all. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens. But you can't be afraid to fail. You have to be able to understand what failure is in order to truly succeed. You're going to fail at a lot of things in life. It just is what it is. But if you're trying, if you're putting forth the effort, then failure isn't quote unquote like failure or the end of the day. It's basically looking at this didn't work, but let's see what the next thing is. And now if this works, we build off that. If that doesn't work, we find what works best. Sometimes failure can be your breakthrough for opportunity. Sometimes failure can be your breakthrough for success. And sometimes failure can be the best lesson learned. Because had you been successful, would you have really, truly understand what it was that God was calling you to do? So you have to think about those things as well. And sometimes people fear the unknown. You're going down a different road. You don't know what's there. You don't know what's happening. You don't know who to trust, where to turn, what to look for. Yeah, it is scary. That is a scary thing. That's where you have to activate that faith. When it feels chaotic, when you don't know what's going on, that's the Lord. I got to walk by faith, not by sight. I have to trust that if you're telling me to go this way, it's going to be okay. I have to trust that I can't see the end result, but I know that everything that I'm doing is preparing me for the next step. But if you don't feel like going after those things, if you just decide to sit back, you'll always be a what if. You'll never be the testimony that people need to be successful. You'll never be the living proof of overcoming the things that somebody might be watching you go through and hoping that you overcome it so they can overcome it. So a lot rides on you not falling into fear, but standing closer within your faith. And if we do that, that allows you to not only move forward, but it allows you to show people around you that even in the things that you were afraid of, God was with you, God led you, God protected you, and God provided, which means that it can happen for you too. Shannon Sharp said something best a while back, and I know people feel how they feel about him right now. But when he was on First Take, he said, I can fear something and still conquer it. And I thought that was like one of the coolest things ever. Because it's like, yeah, I am afraid of what's going to happen next. But I know if I keep moving forward, I will conquer what comes. So it's a matter of mind. It's a matter of trust. It's a matter of belief. It's a matter of allowing God to really direct your path and take you to where you need to go. That's really what it comes down to. Now, some of us love comfort. Love comfort. And when you get too comfortable, that's when things happen. So comfort is defined as a state of physical ease and freedom from pain or constraint, limitation, or restriction. So there are certain parts of comfort that are good. If your body needs to rest, if you've been working hard and it says, hey, you need to define that space to just take your time, okay, that's different. But there's a different type of comfort when you become too comfortable in your old ways, or too comfortable in sin, or too comfortable with greed, or too comfortable with, trying to get by or being mean to others or whatever the case may be. And that comfort can breed disaster. So you have to be careful in how you move, and not get too comfortable just doing the same thing over and over and over again, but trusting that moving forward and challenging ideas and challenging new things that God is putting into your life is really helping you get better. So some things that comfort can lead to, it could definitely lead to laziness, which is why we don't feel like doing certain things. We'd rather come home, fall asleep, play the game, but, with parents, our kids drive us crazy sometimes. And sometimes we just want to sit and not do anything. But if we continue to sit every single day and not do anything, then our kids grow tired. Our kids grow weary. They're wondering what happens next. So there are times where, you're going to have to do some stuff you don't want to do, but it's going to build a better foundation, a better relationship. Like if I come home every day and I just don't interact with my kids, what am I doing? But if I come home and it's like on those days, it's like I really am tired, but I might be able to, help you out a little later. They understand that, and we can still build that rapport amongst each other, and we can still grow from that. So you don't want to get lazy and halt your progress, because that leads to idleness. And they say an idle mind is the devil's playground. So if you're just sitting there and you're just on brain neutral, basically, anything and everything can happen. And how you choose to navigate that is up to you. One of the things I was thinking about, and here's something that I think can be helpful. Depending on how you view comfort can be the devil's tool to stop you from persevering. So you could be going after something that God really wants you to do. And then you get comfortable with cutting corners or not putting forth full effort or just letting it sit. And it's that whole, I'll get to it when I get to it. You can't sit on the gifts that God gave you, because God needs you to move. God needs you to act. God is in the business of saving souls and bringing people closer to him. So if you have this gift that God gave you, and you have this skill and you have this talent, and he's telling you, hey, I want you to use this and move forward, and you look at him and you get comfortable and go, I don't really feel like it. Then ask yourself, how do you expect to be what you say you want to be if you're not taking the steps to get there? Don't get too comfortable and then realize that you let everything else pass you on because you decided you just didn't feel like doing something. You got to be active. Your faith has to be active. Your discipline has to be active. The will to want to has to be active. But that comes down to you. And so as I was sitting, I was thinking to myself, well, how... Actually, before I even get to that, let's think about this. This whole, I don't feel like it. Like us telling God, like, I don't really feel like it today. I know I need to get in my word, but I don't really feel like it. I know I need to pray. I don't really feel like it. What if God allowed Jesus to come down here like he did, and Jesus says, I don't feel like it. Hey, Lord, God, I hear you, and I know I'm supposed to die to save all these people, but, like, I kind of don't feel like it. Like, what would have happened? Like, what if God would have just been like, all right, you know what? I don't really feel like sending my son to you. What happens now? The ultimate sacrifice that was made, it's the biggest sacrifice that anybody can ever make in life. Jesus did that when he died on the cross. Because everything that represents us now, our sin, our crookedness, our falling short of the glory, God nailed that to the cross. So it makes it to where we can come to him and say, Lord, I know I'm falling short. Lord, I know I'm not perfect. Lord, I know I'm supposed to be in my word. Lord, I know I'm still dabbling in sin. And I don't hate the sin as much as I should. And I know that I should. And I know that I don't need to be doing this, but I keep falling back into it. Lord, I am falling short. I need you. Help me. Please help me. I need you now. See, God allows you to come to him. But if you don't feel like that, he's not going to push you. I just hope that you get it right before time runs out. And let me just be vulnerable with you, man. Like, I'm in the same situation. I'm trying to build with y'all, too. I know there's moments. Like, I'm not perfect. Nobody's a perfect Christian. There's times where I be on fire to read. And there's times where I don't want to. Or it's like, I should get up early and read. And then I don't. And that's on me. I have to be better. The reality is that God has given me an opportunity every single day. And I should be thankful for that. You should do the same. So don't get too comfortable with God's grace, because at some point you're going to have to put some work into that faith. Faith without works is dead. But if you're working, you're getting closer to God and keeping that faith strong, watch how God works. So how can we get out of comfort? Like, how do we get out of this comfort zone? I looked at a couple verses, and I think these are things that'll be helpful. Philippians 4:13 says this: I can do all things through him who strengthens me. That's the fear part, right? The fear of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. And God says, you can do all things through me. So to give you context, the Apostle Paul wrote this while he was in prison. And he teaches us that through Christ, we have the strength to face any circumstance, whether in abundance or in need. We can come to God. We can say, Lord, I am super scared, but I'm made in your image. And I know that I can do all things through you because you're going to give me the strength. So the key takeaway from this is our strength comes from Christ, not us. When we feel weak or inadequate, Christ's strength is sufficient for us. Christ is going to give us exactly what we need. In moments of fear, in moments of panic, in moments of worry, in moments of anxiousness, God is always there. The best way to activate that is to acknowledge, this is how I feel. This is what I'm dealing with. Lord, I'm turning it to you. I can't beat this thing on my own, but I know with you, I have the strength to get through. So trust in God, because he tells you and he gives you the strength. Now, from the comfort side of things, I looked at Proverbs 13:4. And Proverbs 13:4 states, the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. The sluggard is the lazy person. The diligent is the hardworking person. So the breakdown is this. The lazy person desires good things, but isn't willing to work for them. They dream, but they don't act. The diligent person puts in the effort and sees the rewards of their labor. God values and rewards hard work, discipline, and dedication. It's not enough to simply want something. We must be willing to put in the effort to achieve it. You have to be willing. You have to be disciplined. You have to want to. I know you're going to have days where you're not going to want to. I know it's going to be easier for you to lay in bed. I know it's going to be easy for you to scroll on your phone. I know it's going to be easy for you to just not do anything. But younger, you might need you. Somebody in life might need you. Somebody is watching you. Somebody is counting on you. You got to count on you. You're the one that holds the key to success because God gave it to you. Now, what you choose to do with that is up to you. You have this strength. You have his will. You have his word. It's in his word. It's in the scripture. He's telling you right here in this verse, the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. So that means if we have this day that God has allowed us to see, that we got to get up and we got to put in work. And even though we may not feel like it, and even though we might be tired, and even though it's just the comfort thing, and you're watching everybody else do their thing, and you're just like, why are they doing it? That's not your journey. That's not your path. That's not your road. This is where you are. And in order for you to truly be successful, we got to be diligent. And we got to trust that God knows what he's doing. So I pray that you're not the sluggard. I pray that you're the hardworking person. Because God will bless you. It says it right there. It's hard. It can be difficult, especially in a world where it seems like every day we cut on something. It's been rough, man. The past couple of weeks, it's been rough getting on social media and seeing people that are losing their lives to gun violence, childish acts, all types of things, man. And it weighs on you. I think sometimes that contributes to the not wanting to do stuff either, because you're asking yourself, I could work hard and it could all be taken away. So, like, what's the point, right? There's some people that view life like that. There's some people that feel defeated already because there's been things that have been taken away from them that they wish they had. There are things that they wish they could have gone after, but maybe circumstances or things got in the way and they weren't able to do it. And so many people are ready to quit on that because they're like, well, what's the point? And I can't convince you, but all I can do is tell you that God wants you to keep going. Like, if He woke you up, you got a purpose. You're still breathing, you got a purpose. There's people that are going to come in and out of your life. They need something. God's going to give you what you need to supply them with. But are you going to be diligent enough to give that to them? Like, are you willing to pray for them? Are you willing to hear them? Are you willing to walk with them? Are you willing to show them by example that they too can be successful? Are those things that you're willing to do? Or are you just going to let it fall to the side and hope that somebody else does it? Which, if you do that, then there's no reason why you should turn around and be on that, oh, I could have done that. No. You had the opportunity, but you let it go. If it's in your hand and you know it's something you're supposed to pursue and you pray on it and God says, that's exactly what I need you to do, we got to get to work. Somebody somewhere is, their progress is halted because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You fear it, and God has it in front of you. Face it anyway, because you got to remember who's preparing you for it. Let's get to work. Let's make it happen. As always, 3 keys that I think will be helpful for you moving forward. Key number 1, discipline yourself. Be your coach. All right? I am going through this currently right now. I know I want to work out. I know that there's things that I need to do around my house. I know I want to lose weight. I have to discipline myself. It's in my head. I got to write it down, and then I have to execute it. Write your goals down and execute them. Set your short-term goals. Set the things that you want to accomplish. Set your big goal, the big dream, the thing that you really want to go after. I had someone who taught me the small steps, the small victories are important because those are the things that are really going to help you truly appreciate the biggest victory in the end. But we got to stay disciplined. Why do you think certain people are really good at what they do? Practice. You don't have to be the most talented. You ain't got to be the most skilled, but you got to be willing to do the work. A lot of people that just rely on their skill, they burn out afterwards because they don't know how to work hard when they get challenged. The people that last the longest, the people that stay strong are the ones that just don't quit. They just don't give up. That's what Nipsey Hussle talked about when he would speak on his marathon thing. He's like, man, the only thing that's different between me and others is that I just didn't quit. And I don't need you to quit, especially when I know you're so close to your breakthrough. So I need you to discipline yourself. I need you to be able to hold yourself accountable. I need you to be able to step away from the things that are holding you back. And I need you to step into your God-given purpose and move forward. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you sit back, you discipline yourself and say, this is what I need to do. This is where God is calling me. This is what I don't need. This is where I need to go. You got to be able to analyze that, trust that God's got you, and then walk in it. So discipline yourself. The second thing I think you should do, be thankful that you can do it. You change your attitude from I have to I get to. One of the best things I ever heard, Boston Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla, they were asking about Jason Tatum. And they were talking about like, yeah, Jason Tatum, he's a star. He has to do this. He has to do that. And he corrected the interview. He said, no, he gets to. He's like, it's a privilege to be in this position. He gets to be the star. He gets to go play basketball. He gets to work hard. He gets to lead his team. Like, that's a privilege. And I think that we look at some of the things that we have to do and we're just like, oh my gosh, I got to do. No, be thankful you can do it because you could be in a completely different position where the things that you're doing now could be taken away from you and then you got nothing. And you're going to be wishing and hoping for something. But the whole time you had it, you weren't grateful for it. Be grateful for what you have right now. What's the song say? Just be thankful for what you got, right? It may not be the same thing that everybody else has, but it's for you. And you looking forward at what they possess and wishing that you had what they had, and they looking backwards wishing that they were you because of how you carry yourself. So be thankful that you can do it. Be thankful you have the skill to do it. Be thankful that you're able to wake up, Lord, thank you for this day, and be able to walk out there in your purpose and then do what God has called you to do. That is something that we sleep on. That's something we don't pay attention to every day. And I'm going to challenge you to look at those small victories, to look at the things that you get to do, and be thankful that God has chosen you to do it, because clearly you're the right person. So keep doing what you're doing and be thankful you can. The last thing is very simple. Don't quit. Jimmy V says it best. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. I know life is hard. I know life can be tough. I know that you might not have everything you want. I know that sometimes circumstances aren't what you want them to be. I know that sometimes it's hard to get up. It's hard to face the day. Sometimes it's hard to look at yourself because you're looking so far back at what you've done, not knowing that God has blessed you to be in the position you're in today. You're dwelling on past mistakes. You're dwelling on failures. You're looking at what ifs, and you're wondering if you're worthy. You are worthy. You are worth it. You were made in God's image, so how could you not be? No matter how hard you have fallen, no matter how far you have stumbled, you can always bounce back. And don't worry about what other people say, because everybody's going to have an opinion. Just let God do what God does. Because if he can bless you and allow you to keep moving forward, then other people are going to have to see that. I just had a conversation with somebody today where they were talking about there's all these people that are doubting him. And I said, we have to look at doubt differently. I think people doubt because they're watching you and they're mad that you're doing what they feel like they can't do. So instead of showing support, they rather show hate because misery loves company. And then when you do make it to that point, then they want to doubt you even more and say, oh, I wish I could do that. But deep down, the people that doubt you are really secretly hoping that you make it because they need to see an example of how it can be done. They just don't know how to tell you that. So whatever it is that you're pursuing, whatever it is that God has put into your life, whatever it is that you want to go after, just don't quit. The biggest thing I'm going to tell you not to quit, don't quit on your life. No matter how dark it gets, no matter how crazy it gets, I just pray that you live to see another day. Because that next day could truly be that breakthrough that God has for you. So please, please, please don't quit. We need you here. Okay? All right. I'm going to leave you with that. As always, thank you for being a part of the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. And as always, I'm always trying to keep something on from my brothers. So shout out to my brother and the good folks over at theurbanrealty.com. Of course, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, shorts, all that good stuff. Go support them. Tell them I sent you. Okay. As always, I'm streaming over on Spotify. You can catch my podcast there. I'm also on Apple Podcasts. And check me out on YouTube. I need subscribers. Like the videos. Check me out. That would be great. Of course, the socials. I'm on Instagram at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. You can also catch me on TikTok at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. All the short clips and things like that will be there. Your support is great. Thank you for all of the new followers over on TikTok that came through not too long ago. I really, really appreciate it. We're getting closer to 1,000. I think I'm like 7 something. So maybe I'll start hashtagging road to 1,000 or something like that. I have no idea. I just want to do my best. And if God allows me to use this podcast to bring people closer to him, so be it. And that's what we'll do. Okay. I pray you have an amazing week. Have a blessed week. One thing I want to leave you with before you go, and I know it's a Bible verse that we all kind of know, but remember, trust in the Lord at all times and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge him. He shall direct your path. Trust him. Don't lean on what you think is right. Trust that God knows what's right. And acknowledge him in everything that you do. If you know you're getting ready to commit a sin, acknowledge God like, hey, God, this is, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I feel like I'm stuck. What do I do? God will find a way. God will help you. God will deliver you. God will heal you. Can you trust him? That's all I'm asking you to do is trust him. Walk with him daily. Let him be the light of your life and watch how it changes not only you, but everybody else around you. So trust in him. All right? Go forth and be merry. Have an amazing week. Check out the podcast. And as always, it's the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I'm Ed. We out.